doorbells play a melody, and so I get the melody, and then sometimes if they're in, you're going for a cup of tea, and they'll give you a few clues as to what the song should be saying, and the rest of it is up to me to finish. I came to Manchester because it was somewhere where things were going on, and since I came, 3 years that followed sort of helped me discover what I really wanted to do.
Camping next to water, a fish-infested slaughter. I feed the fishes into me.
I think the Smiths were one of the first where I thought music was different now. It was like another level for me to listen to a band that were sort of my discovery, because I was probably the only kid in school that was a Smiths fan. And I didn't go as far as to be a Morrissey lookalike. I'm too good looking for that, but I wasn't even musical until I was about 18, 19. I didn't even think about music as a career. I was sort of eight years working in my mum and dad's printing factory, making stickers, and so it couldn't be further away from music, but it sort of gave me that grounding for one, and also it gave me a lot of time and headspace while I was keeping this machine going to just think about music sort of all day long, really, imagining songs, and sometimes getting a little microphone and a dictaphone to capture something if I got an idea, and then spending the evenings just recording those ideas onto a 4-track and sort of starting a cycle, recording something one day, taking it back in, listening to it, and thinking how I could further these ideas. It came a point, which was probably around March of '98, where I was asked to do this gig in Manchester, and got wind of the fact that there was going to be somewhere in the region of 200 A&R people from London coming up, which sort of obviously was it was exciting, but was also a little bit daunting and felt unrealistic, and I didn't really want to be setting myself up to impress people. So I just played a video instead for the first sort of 15 minutes of the set, which I'd recorded earlier that day, just me at home, just to sort of send a message, which was misunderstood as a bit of taking the mickey out of the industry, but it wasn't. It was just a natural reaction to this attention, which seemed a little bit unrealistic to me. I'd already been running my own label for a few months. I released the first 2 EPs on my own steam with Andy Votel, my partner, and then so it was a difficult decision to jump into bed, as it were, with some other label, but it was just a way for me to concentrate on my own thing, keep my own label afloat as well. So it was the ideal situation, best of all worlds. I've always been trying to win an audience over, maybe compensating for their lack of knowledge on me, compensating for my lack of technique by being a bit of an idiot, but communicating in some way. And that's what sort of set this live reputation, that equal amounts of criticism and praise from the press about the way I act on stage. I've always been someone who wants to communicate in some way and quite a sociable person, but music's just got this other level of communicating in that abstract way, which is more powerful than actually saying hello down the pub. When somebody connects their music to you, it's sort of, that is the drive that makes you want to connect it back to someone else and keep that chain going, really. I think the thing that I connect most to people and will continue to try and do is that this is silly, why am I doing this? It could easily be you lot out there.
Faith pours from your walls, drowning your calls. I've tried to hear, you're not near. Remembering when I saw your face shining my way, pure timing. fallen in deep, slow silent sleep. It's killing me, I'm dying. To put a little bit of sunshine in your life, solid all over you, warm sun pours over me, solid all over you, warm sun. Now this slick fallen rift came like a gift. Your body moves ever nearer, and you will dry this tear now that we're here, and grieve for me, not history. But now I'm dry of thoughts, wait for the rain, then it's replaced, sun setting, and suddenly you're in love with everything. Solid all over you, warm sun pours over me, solid all over you, warm sun.
I think people like to see a little bit of humanity in people as well, and that if they're gonna, that's the way I present it anyway. Other people hide behind an image or don't say anything, and that works fine for them. But with me, I feel a need to give something of myself. I'm rich because I've tapped into one of my primary veins, which is making music. I may never have found it, but I thankfully have, and I don't want to misguide that, and I don't want to abuse it either.
Feeling the same as I might.
That moment where I first discovered that I'd actually written something original, it may have been a little riff, or just when you're playing the guitar and you just find something that seems like it's got its own solid life, it's like it exists.
Yet again, as I do. Watching another.
Music's, for me, is an opportunity to create another world, because in general terms my life is pretty boring without music. I think other people should do it, really. Not rely on record labels to do everything for you. You've got to make your own mark in your own way.
I've been pissing in the wind. I chanced a foolish grin and dribbled on my chin. And now the ground shifts beneath my feet. The faces that I greet never know my name. Just give me something, I'll take nothing. Just give me something, I'll take nothing. And now the drought is crippled by the rain.
people talk about rock and roll spirit, and it's all usually manifests itself with the two fingers up. That's rock and roll, but it isn't. It's like, I think why I do is more rock and roll because it's somebody being themselves when they're put in a difficult environment and risking the chance of looking like a fool. Sometimes coming out of it shining, sometimes falling on your backside.
Let's watch it swim against the water's flow. In doubt the courage grows with no guarantee.
I'm trying to challenge the idea that people seem to have to write music that will fit in, be accepted by the TV networks, the radio networks, and be played, and I'm trying to challenge that, and what I've done with the record, hopefully, is to make music that is for all time, really.
Hijinks and tomfoolery from Donna and Paul in Pop Gun, up next.